Boxing. Big shout out to the LDBC. Big shout out to my subscribers. Anyone has sub to the channel, I ask that you please subscribe. Y'all hit that bell icon, that like button for me. Drop a comment in the comment section. Alright, so still dealing with the aftermath, the fallout, if you will, of Anthony Joshua losing his 3 titles to his 3 world championship titles to Andy Ruiz and MSG last Saturday. And from all reports, the rematch clause has been activated. I heard this first on 7 Day Sport TV's live stream last night. Also caught it on several other channels. And this morning, I heard on the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice as well, and shout out to 7 Day Sports TV in general, that on Jimmy Kimmel Live, at the end of the show, at the end of the report about the rematch, he said that it was going to be on, the rematch was going to be on Dazn. Well, there's all this debating about whether or not the rematch is going to be in the UK or in the United States. You know, and of course, a lot of people would think that Eddie Hearn would have the language in the contract that the rematch must be in the UK if should Anthony Joshua lose his titles in the US. But that said, let's not forget that Andy Ruiz came in the 11th hour to save their event. They had to have a viable opponent for that event. They couldn't just parade just any guy out there to fight Anthony Joshua for his US debut. You know, and that card was it was supposed to be big for the zone. I mean, I think it was billed all wrong as far as all these UK fights on there, and you're trying to sell an app to the US fan, US market. I think it was silly to put all those British fighters on that card, and especially looked bad when 80% of them got exposed. But that's neither here nor there. Not the point of my video. Okay. So that fight took place. The numbers that are being reported for viewership, continuous streaming on the zone was around 5,000. That's what they're saying. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's the report that's out there. Okay, just like the report was out there, 600,000 for Canelo. That's all we can go off of what's being reported. So what's being reported is 5,000. All right. Okay, so if the rematch is going to be on the zone, if what Jimmy Kimmel said is true, if the rematch is going to be on the zone, let's think about this for a minute. If the fight's in the UK, that means it's going to take place around 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Okay, the fight is going to be sometime between September and November. What's going on in the United States in September and between September and November? On Saturdays. College football. College football is king on television on Saturday afternoons in the United States. I don't think that fight is going to take place in the United Kingdom, especially being broadcast on the zone. I mean, if they're going to do it in the United Kingdom, there's no sense in broadcasting on the zone, because if you only got 5,000 continuous streams on a prime time show, prime boxing time, imagine what it's going to do on a Saturday with U.S. viewership in the smack dab in the middle of college football season. You got to remember, Vlad versus AJ didn't do great numbers on Showtime. I think it was Showtime that showed that fight. Maybe HBO. I think it was Showtime. I may be wrong. But either way, whichever. I mean, if it was HBO, that's even worse because they have way more subscribers. But whichever of the two premium boxing networks in the U.S. that showed that fight. It didn't do great numbers. I think it was around 300 to 400,000 views. You know what I'm saying? Peak viewership. And I mean, if that, it may have been 200 something. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was an April fight. College football isn't on in April. Even that fight would have done a lot less viewership had it taken place in the fall. So my whole point is they need to rethink what they're doing if they're going to put this fight on in the UK. As far as I know they'll get the UK pay-per-view money, but to me it's pointless to put it on Dazn. Then if you're gonna do it on the UK pay-per-view, you may as well shop it around with one of the US television networks, because no one's gonna see it on Dazn. It has a better chance at doing decent viewership or better viewership on one of the already established television outlets in the United States. You know, you may get you 200,000, viewers. You may get you 200,000 viewers. But on Dazn, I think you're going to cut that 5. If 5,000 is an actual number, that's realistic. Whatever the real number was for AJ versus Ruiz streaming, it's going to probably be cut in half if they put that fight on in the United Kingdom and show it 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. It'll be too many good college football games on around that time of year. And and knowing Eddie Hearn with his disconnect with what's going on in America, they'll probably put the fight on it'll probably be rivalry weekend, when Alabama is playing Auburn, Georgia's playing Georgia Tech, Ohio State's playing Michigan. He'll probably end up doing it that week, just because he's so out of touch with what else is going on. Just like the fight that just took place, the Yankees and Red Sox were playing. So I just think they need to rethink this. And like I said, I'm thinking honestly that it's pointing toward the fight's gonna probably take place in the United States, because if it's in the United States, then it'll be coming on in that prime time boxing slot, which will be around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will be when the card starts, somewhere along in there. The main event probably won't start till around 11:30, midnight Eastern Standard Time, somewhere along in there. So, and it all depends on how quickly the undercard fights go. But and I'm not talking about prelims. I'm talking about the actual showcase fights. Usually like two or three fights leading up to the main event. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. In my opinion, if it's on Dazn, the signs lean toward the fight's gonna be in the U.S., which I think would be a good idea. I think it's gonna make the most money in the U.S. And I actually think they'll be missing an opportunity by not putting this fight on pay-per-view on Showtime. I think Showtime or Fox pay-per-view would probably be the move. But they may we got to look at other fights going on at the same time, because fight fans aren't going to just peel out money for pay-per-view back to back to back. So we'll pick and choose what fight we want to see. So it could very well be competing with Deontay Wilder's fight with Luis Ortiz right around the same time frame. So if it's like within a month of each other, fans are gonna pick which fight they want to pay for over here. A lot of fans aren't gonna pay for both pay-per-views, not if they're within a month. Me personally, I don't mind paying pay-per-view. I'll pay for a pay-per-view this month and one next month. But if they're both gonna fall on that same bill, I'm not gonna do it. I mean, it's not that I can't afford it, but I don't want to be looking at a cable bill that's looking outrageous. You know what I'm saying? When cable's already high enough over here. Man, I'm already paying like $200, well, close to $200 for my internet, phone, and cable. So, You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to pay for 2 pay-per-views on the same bill. But, you know, that's me. Hey, shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to my subs once again. D-Lo 404, I'm out. Peace.